The law of assumption is essentially a niche, I guess you could say, of the law of attraction. So what it says, the law of assumption, is that when we assume something to be true, the assumption will make it true. Eventually it will manifest, or it will attract whatever it is we assume. So it's like the 19th century psychologist William James said, believe and the belief will make the fact. So we believe something to be true, and that will make it a fact eventually, right? It's definitely not magic. It's like the law of attraction. Essentially, like I said, it's a niche. It is the law of attraction, right? So what it's essentially going to do is, by assuming, we're aligning our minds to focus to a different perspective, right? We're seeing things differently, right, than we would if we didn't make the initial assumption. You see, a lot of us, most of us, we get locked in the moment. Our heads, our perceptions, we just get stuck in the moment, right? We're reacting to momentary things we hear on the news, on social media, right? In our immediate families or from our friends. We're just reacting, right? We're stuck in the moment. But the law of assumption, using that, we imagine things, right? It has to start with imagination. You have to conceive in your head, you have to believe in your head that you have something, that you're first off worthy of it, right? Because if you don't think you're worthy of getting something, you're probably not going to get it, right? So you have to believe you're worthy of getting it, and then you have to just believe it's yours, right? So it's kind of abstract, or it's very abstract, right? But most of us, our problem is we get locked in the moment, and it prevents us from being abstract. So how to start using the law of assumption? There's two things we absolutely have to do. The first thing is to get rid of the BS noise around us, right? Like I said, there's so much stuff keeping us locked in the moment. The social media, the news, our family, all this chatter, all this noise. We need to get rid of it. We need to be able to tune it out, right? I'm not saying ditch that stuff or like pull away from your family. Of course not. But you need to be able to tune them out for the most part. Second, you have to be able to reignite your imagination. A lot of people, a lot of us, as we grow up, we think that adults, imagination and being creative, that's for kids, right? That's not the case, right? You need to get back in touch with your imagination, right? Because this is how you're going to start creating what you want to manifest. This is how you start assuming that you deserve more, right? We all have this amazing gift, that being our minds, right? And so many of us don't use it to its fullest advantage, right? Like I just said, most of us feel out of touch with our imagination. We feel imaginations for kids, so therefore we stick to logical stuff, and we think we're being rational, but really most of the stuff we deal with is irrational, right? It's all noise, it's all distractions, it's chatter, right? And it's just such a shame, because we have so much potential, right? Our minds are so vast and we have so much power, but we let it go to waste most of the time. So in order to make sure that doesn't happen, you need to do those two things. You need to learn how to get rid of the noise, probably through meditation or something like that. And second, you need to get back in touch with your creativity. That's the only way to make the law of assumption work to its fullest extent for you. And trust me, it can and it will.